well. Got a nice central exhaust, which sounds really good actually. Tanks open. Straight down the sides. Nice thick inside, clean leather. So this evening's job has been just seeing if I can make a bit of progress on the MR2, the silver one, and see if I can get the hood, the roof when I bought this one was absolutely awful. It was all ripped. All on here on the standard places were ripped. There was holes. It had come away from around here. There seems to be where the hood attached around here. This was all ripped. So what was just getting in here. Yeah, it was just an absolute mess, and it looked pretty rubbish. It really kind of knocked the car back, really, because I think it's a pretty nice looking one. This one, it's you can't see in here, but you've all probably seen pictures of it. But it's a nice looking one, but it was always the roof that just was the big thing that let this one down. So it was really nice to start making some progress on that. I don't know if you can see, but I've cleaned one side of it, and the other side of it I've not got to doing yet. But I'm not sure whether you can see the difference there. It's not easy to see sometimes with these when it's really clean already, and you do a job and you can't see much difference for what you're doing, which is quite nice because been inside trying to fix and fit the roof. I've not done one before, and you get to that point where it's just starting to get dead frustrated because you can't see what you're doing. So I thought, do you know what, I'm going to have a break, I'm going to get out, I can stretch my legs, and decide to clean the roof and feel dead satisfied with it actually, because it looks a ton better than it did before. So that's a nice little break. I will go inside and I'll show you where we're up to with the inside of the roof on this one. Those of you that haven't taken one of these off before, it's actually not a massively complicated job. It's not certainly not easy and simple, but it's one of them ones where if you're methodical and organised and keep an eye on what you're doing, it's not too bad. I fought on for ages, not realising that this comes off. Underneath here is like a brace bar, and that has to come off. I've not fully bolted it back on yet. And yes, the inside of the roof also needs a clean. Probably should have done that before I fitted it, but you know, woulda, shoulda, coulda. I will get cleaned off before it's completely finished. So that bar definitely has to come out, which then gives you access to take out these drain bags. I think I've figured out how the drain bags go. Just need to put them all back together again and put these little clips through one thing and another on there. Basically there's a rail that goes in behind there that's got lots of little 10mm in, and that you can take a metal rail off, and then the hood actually pulls off the body and it leaves studs in behind it. So there's like one bar that goes from side to side in there, and then there's a bar that runs from that corner down there that has like a slide mechanism on it, and that has to be taken off. And there's a few sneaky little bolts down the bottom here that you have to take out. Same on this side as well. They all seem to, both these MR2s, I've not looked closely at my dad's blue one, but the Velcro on the roof seems to have come off, so I have glued that on. I'll try a couple of different types of glue and see which one works best. There's like Velcro for when these hook on to each other. I've got the strap which pulls the ears in. I don't know what the proper name for it is, so I'm going to have to thread that through. That comes up through this top bar here. That's to go back in. This like luggage tray or whatever you want to call it, behind here, just about here, it's just got like a bit of plastic that sticks down that you clip onto a bracket. So in theory you could put your hand underneath that and just bump it up and it would pull out, and then it's these little poppers up here to hold that up, and there you can take that out. Then underneath that there's a layer of carpet with sound deadening on it, which actually was quite nice and clean. Underneath there that comes off as well, and then you can get full access into the back of there. ECU sitting down there if you weren't sure, and there's also the module for the electric aerials there. I need to clean off the brackets, a bit manky on that, so I'll clean that off before I put the bins back in. But I'll having a look through it, it's all nice and dry and clean. Put grease on all the nuts and bolts that were coming out, that have gone back in again, just to make sure it's easier for whoever does these. I think these will become a future classic, so I'd like to think that in 10 years time someone will be putting another roof on this, or 20 years, or however long the last, I don't know. And obviously just trying to think and make it easy for them as well when they're going. I think on reflection, definitely would highly recommend taking the seats out when you do this job, but I've got a little single garage, and if I take the seats out, I've got to put them somewhere. So they're in and I'm squashed in, and every few minutes I just go out for a little walk to stretch my legs out so I don't get cramp. So yeah, job's a good one. Here's the roof. And as you can see, it is dirty. It was sat in a workshop for a long time, so it's a bit scabby, but cleaning fabric like that's not a problem at all. It'd be really nice before on here, and then we'll show what that looks like after it's had a good clean. Tend to use a bit of Surfex HD, but it's made by Built Hammer. I'm sure that mixed up as an APC, probably about 10 to 1. Put it onto there, let it soak for a bit and give it a good scrub off. And once I've got the thick of the muck off, whatever you want to call it, off, I'll give it a good steam clean, make sure it's nice and clean all throughout. I've tried to get a bit of grease onto any of the mechanism of the roof as well, to try and make it go up and down a bit easier. We'll see how that works. Might have to, if it doesn't make it any good, I'll clean it off, because sometimes adding grease can just mean that it makes a dust trap and it can make it worse. So I'm waffling on now, so I'm going to stop.